Welcome to the show. This is the Moon Boys podcast. I've got Matthew Smead and Justin here today. How's it going, guys?
Excellent. Although I must say a pretty embarrassing week for crypto. We had Trump coin wrecking retail consumers left, right and center, making sure that all normies hate crypto forever. And what else did we have? We had the inauguration where Elon Musk had a suspicious arm spasm, to say the least. I've been feeling a bit embarrassed to be a crypto trader this week. How have you felt this week, Matthew?
It's been all right. Been just sort of boring, I guess. The dopamine's been cut off and everyone's just waiting for the Bitcoin to turn around. So just back into the old upward and sideways grind.
Very low volatility, very much climbing the wall if we look at the chart. Just pretty much when you get these low volatility, I think it signals something's about to happen. And so maybe next month we're going to see either blood on the streets or euphoria. What do you think?
Yeah, look on the daily here on Bitcoin.
I said Matthew, don't you?
Yeah,
it's like
if Michael Saylor's got anything to say for it, then I think he wants that to go to the upside.
It would be nice. He's highly leveraged.
Yeah,
it could get.
He just made a post, didn't he?
Share your screen.
Oh yeah,
Can you share your screen?
We should say also that this is not financial advice.
Yeah.
We're not financial advisors, and please exercise your own risk tolerance.
So Theo, load up Lynk. Tell us what happened last night.
Lynk, yeah. Okay, so I had two plays yesterday. So StupidCoin and Lynk, right? So I was playing Stupid as Fred Krueger was doing a tutorial on how to make a pump.fun meme. I actually did really well from here over to here. And then I sold overnight, and it was kind of like this big rounded bottom. And then here, look at, whoa.
No, bro.
Look at that wick. Somebody accidentally fat-fingered to the upside there.
Yeah, I think it was something like $600,000. So maybe he added a zero to the sol. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, and King Long Pudgy called this one today, so I took a small position. It's been
today. It was
down.
Trending yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. He's a bit late to the game. But last night, Lynk was airdropped a bunch of Lynk tokens, so he didn't actually create the coin. So it was kind of like a CTO. So you can see I was playing it insanely yesterday.
horrible performance, Theo.
Yeah.
Lost all your stupid games. You stupid boy.
It did okay.
Happens to
here I'm buying the top again, so that's great.
No,
so yeah, we'll see how Lynk
this
does.
is. Can I explain Lynk token to you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
So while Rom and Theo were discovering Trump token live on stream at $3, the actual Trump team were holding 80% of the supply, not locked or anything, just sort of ready to profit from. And I guess this is the new meta. This is what happens with meme coins. If anything happens, if there's anything in crypto that you can latch onto, it becomes the new meta. So the new meta is the dev owning 80% of the token supply. Like, it just became a thing with Lynk token where it was like, oh, we're going to copy Trump token. Let's have one guy who's popular own 80%. And then
the KOL meta.
That sounds very safe.
Yeah.
To be fair though, Lynk did lock up like 80% of the supply. I thought the Trump token was locked too. They had that whole vesting schedule. Was that proven to be false?
They could do.
It probably was locked. They just probably had more coins on the side.
Let's see if we can look it up here.
I think
but if it's not about the token locks. What I'm saying is whatever happens in crypto will become the new meta, so that we can create a new Ponzi token. Like, everyone's addicted to this gambling.
Yeah.
I think in America.
Are you saying that Trump has started the presidential token meta? So are we going to have world leader tokens soon?
Well, yeah, that was last week's narrative, right?
He just happened to own a lot of the supply, so like insiders were like, okay, this is a thing, we can riff off this, come on guys, like in their private groups, they're like, okay, let's riff off this, something similar, we can rug people like Trump rugged people. It's not as, it seems as if it doesn't matter how official crypto gets. Like if BlackRock is saying that everyone needs 1%, 2%, it doesn't matter how legit we get over 100K, we don't learn to be better people. At no point does it become less of a casino, less scammy, less, oh, you lost all your money, sorry, see ya, bye. Like normal people with credit cards lost money on Trump, and like people who've thought they were part of the Solana cool team with the cool retardio pictures, thought they were in the Lynk token club, but everything's a rug, everything's a scam, and crypto hasn't learned how to sort of like regulate itself and be cool. Like it's so greedy, and like Trump has set this new greedy tone for crypto this week. Like, yeah, it was a boring week, but what I found interesting,
of different tokens. Sorry,
too many tokens.
What's that? Go ahead.
No, basically, and also it's getting harder and harder to pick the right tokens to go into, because, as you say, there's just an endless supply of tokens out there. Especially
there are people in the Moralis community like, what's up? Why am I not winning? And it's because like everything's got a bit faster. You have to rotate. You have to babysit your meme positions. You have to, as time goes on, traders get more skillful, and so like this retail becomes more and more just like, I can't win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
The exit liquidity has arrived.
All that, yeah.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, where's Rom?
Like he says he's here.
That's excellent.
Oh yeah, I gotta invite him in.
There
Welcome, RomReactor.
The exit signal has arrived. Don't be blind.
How's it going,
hey, Rom? How was your week?
Good. Working. Finally, my barber came back from vacation, so I'm gonna get a nice new haircut. Even though my hair is not even that bad, the way it's since I got the Filipino haircut, the guy did it like pretty well. That it's growing like normally. But
you should go for one like mine, Rom.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I could grow your hair, grow like if I let it grow out, it'll grow like naturally, like long, and it'll not look bad.
You look bad.
Yeah, maybe it will. I don't know. I'm supposedly my hair gets curly, so it's gonna look like that Russian singer Leontiv. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Leontiv?
No, that's over my head.
The
lovely. How much did you pay for your haircut this time? Did you get like a good deal?
Russian singer, Russian.
Is there like, is Azerbaijan like
yeah.
Russian like aligned or something? Do you speak Russian?
Yeah. Azerbaijan is a different language. That's
I wish I spoke Russian. That's a pure vibe.
I know
you speak Russian?
Words.
Right.
I know kartoshka.
Well, yeah.
The potatoes.
That's the one.
And tomatoes, pomidor.
Pomidor.
I know grib. Grib is a good one to know.
What's happening with this stream? Tell us which tokens to load up. Solana. Dog with
yeah, let's go with Solana.
Sideways.
Solana on the daily.
Up. It went bananas, didn't it?
Yeah, it's at a high level here, but yeah, it looks a bit sideways right here, doesn't it? And same with Bitcoin too.
Yeah, it seems like people are waiting for a more bullish news to come out of Trump. Knowing Trump is just days away. He's going to eventually sign some executive order that's going to be hopefully either tax friendly to crypto or reserve friendly. But it looks like that's what people are pausing for at the moment. Like they had a really strong rally towards that 109,000 level. But after that, it's kind of looking like, hey, where's that Bitcoin reserve that you promised?
Yeah, it became a digital asset reserve.
Yeah, there's a speculation on X that Ripple is maybe doing things in the background.
Yeah, so there's a little pause right now. It kind of looks like, but I mean, on the bright side, we are holding above 100,000, which is nice to see. We are kind of. If I share my screen, I guess I could.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Let me just get this. I had that from last week's stream. The China has launched new generation transport, but I didn't get a chance to watch that video. I had it open, but yeah, let me push up present. Hit the present button. Share the screen button. There we go. There we go. Okay. Boom.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
so,
Rom, your stream on Friday got 800 views so far.
yeah.
That's pretty bullish. Like, those metrics, these are numbers we haven't seen before. Well done.
Yeah. Well, it's
Pushing
also
to new heights.
that RUNE collapse. That it looks like it has recovered. So whoever bought in that dip probably should have bought it. It was a little bit higher, but yep, it looks like it's doing that recovery dip that I mentioned on the stream.
Or it tends to recover that much every time it goes down.
Right. The Fibonacci. That's what I was saying.
I'm leveraged like on RUNE. So tell us more. Keep going.
Yeah. So you see, we're trying to go back to that 0.718 level or 786 level. Here, I guess we do the retracement from recent highs. Where is it? From here. Yeah.
You're trying to get to that. Okay.
Even higher if it's at this. If you take it from there. But yeah, it looks like it's trying to go back to $3, and then from there it might like either break back down or recover. Usually that's what happens. But it's nice to see that there was a large buy candle here. So there's definitely people buying the dip that they've never bought before this much. I mean, in history of RUNE on this chart. I think this is like Bybit or something. Binance.
Could be an opportunity to long it there at the bottom.
So yeah, it does look like it's could be a big opportunity, especially like I was mentioning in the stream. If the developers keep building, they're not gonna like go silent. Like I've seen in most places where the project dies is when the developers go silent or they pause the project entirely. But it looks like RUNE is not doing that, so it really just needs to hold this, keep pushing up, and a nice entry would be if you're playing it safe, like on a 4-hour chart. Maybe like that 120 that you were mentioning, Theo. Once it goes above that 120 on like a 4-hour chart, it would probably be a nice entry.
Yeah, on the daily or 4-hour? Oh yeah, on the 4-hour.
I'll probably look at a 4-hour because it would be lower. The daily, it went too far away. Like on the daily, it would be like around $5. You would miss.
I got in at 2.1. Where should I set my stop loss? Because I don't have high conviction. It's just that I'm lazy. I'm too bothered. Hopefully, you show me some coins this stream that I can rotate my profits into. But
if you want to take some profits out of RUNE, it would be those Fibonacci levels, like that 786 level on is around like $3, something like that. So if you bought at like $2, that's a good jump. You could take your profits out, so, and keep the half your investment in there as if it keeps going higher. And then you could just rotate that to something else. AI16Z still looks really nice.
Looks terrible. What's wrong with this coin? Why
I just sold it.
Yeah, well, it looks like things are kind of a lot of memes rotated into Trump, so Trump just like.
True.
I mean, it is at a support there, so it makes sense for it to put in a bounce there if it was to bounce.
Yeah. It looks like there was a huge rally, like people really went nuts for it, and now it's kind of like sitting at this previous high, which is nice. As long as it doesn't break this, it looks like a good entry. And it's very volatile, as you can see. Like every time it dips to some kind of support, it does a nice like 50-60% pump, like 74, like almost 100% pump here. So that's what I like to see, is that volatility. Now in this type of markets, like at this point in time, you want to get into projects that are volatile. This way you could make a swing trade, buy the bottom, sell 100%, put a lot more money into it. Don't go crazy diversifying. Put like $5,000 into this, something like, not throwing numbers here, but put more money, whatever you're comfortable with. Not financial advice, but you would probably, by catching these swings that are volatile on the upside, you're gonna most likely secure yourself gains that, like, on track is another coin that's
I agree. Like, I know Trump isn't very volatile, but I just noticed like a bit of a bounce back, and I just got in, and then 20 minutes later I got out at from 30 to 31. I was like, boom, see ya. It's fun, isn't it? And it's a good way. Like, if you get a good start, yeah, I agree with what Rom's saying in a way.
Exactly. My coin that I really like to trade is I mentioned ZRX, super volatile coin. Like, as you can see, like when it really pumps, it does like nice 50% gains. And it, like, if you're just like ranging this thing, like, I mean, you could think like buy here, sell here, buy, sell, buy. Like, if you pick a nice range, like a coin that ranges and has good volatility, and you're trading it actively, you could make yourself like 2-3x very easily. Especially if it starts going parabolic, then forget about it. You're making a good like 3-5x. But this coin, I'm kind of waiting for it to go slightly parabolic, because it does do that. Like, if you zoom out on a daily, it does do that during old seasons, or I guess you could say like old trends. Like, from here, it went from 33 cents to $1.50. Here, it went from 17 cents to 60. So trading a coin like this is really nice at this point in the market. Maybe even we could look at Matthew's favorite as well, Hex. Or Pulse, actually. I think Pulse also has a pretty good trading. Wait, what's the ticker for Pulse?
PLS.
Yeah, it's PLS.
PLS.
But to find it, you might have to go wPLS, the rat pole.
This is not it?
No.
No. Oh, maybe that's something else.
There you go. That's the one. Tether. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, definitely. Look at that. It's amazing. Bought here. It went from 0.00. Did like a nice 4x.
Yeah, we called in Rectember.
And now it's holding some kind of support. I mean, it kind of looks like it's doing a head and shoulders too. But like, if it does, for example, go back down to this level, that's an amazing entry. And then
the problem I have with this sort of idea that, oh yeah, it's fun to get into all these alts, is that like you could easily make the same profit opening up 5x leverage on Bitcoin at this point. Right now.
That's what Eric Brown was saying.
But you can't get liquidated with holding spot coins.
But you can lose a lot of money.
You can.
They're more likely to go down than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah, no, that's true. But at this point in this time, like, Bitcoin is reaching its top, so like it's climbing towards whatever it's gonna do this cycle, right?
Exactly. We're still waiting for that big dominance drop. I mean, realistically, altcoins are very undervalued versus Bitcoin at this point in time. They've been dumping for ages. Especially if you look at the others BTC ratio, it's still nowhere near euphoria or overvalued or anything like that. It was still barely even broken out.
Theo Zoo, what do you think? Yeah. Altcoin season around the corner, or it's an inevitability, like Matthew and Rom say, or is that cap on cap on cap?
Well, yeah, I mean, we all expect Bitcoin to go up, but like Gerhard says, it's a bit limited upside compared to maybe what the alts can do, right? So like me personally, I actually sold some Solana yesterday to reinforce my Bitcoin bag, because, all these Solana wins yesterday made me feel a bit skewed too heavily over to Sol. I wanted to get back into Bitcoin. I like Eric Crown's strategy about just doing perpetual futures on Bitcoin versus gambling with alts, but he's super conservative because he's already made it, right? He's sitting on over $5 million, so he doesn't mind earning 10 or 15% and just beating inflation, but he's not really looking for like this 100x gain, right? He's happy just making small gains that are reliable. So he's in a different world.
Slow and steady.
Yeah. So if we take a look at like the Pi cycle, which has been pretty strong, like Fibonacci mixed logarithmic band indicator for Bitcoin historically. Like before, it would reach like green and then resist somewhere around like blue. Then it would reach blue, resist somewhere around like purple, red. Now it's reaching purple, resisting somewhere around red and green. This cycle it reached red and now resisting around green.
Which is that the pi cycle? Is that the pi cycle top you're talking about?
Yeah. So there is some kind of like we are seeing that the bands we're reaching the lower bands nowadays more frequently than the top ones. But if we did touch red here, so it was the second band below the top, the purple top before. So we kind of look like it could have. Some people say like due to pi cycle, it could be that we already reached the top in pi cycle, and now we're just resisting green. Might be some kind of old season, and then it's, it could be done. But what I think, at least, what my theory is, I believe we should retest red again, and if we do that, that should be a nice old season. That's what we all would be looking for. Like if we go this far, this would be the optimal hodl strategy. However, we don't want to risk that. We don't want to miss out on trades, and this is where my new strategy is. The one I was just talking about, where you can buy coins that are volatile now and just catch those dips and ride those volatility pumps 50-60%, make your money, get it out. And if the old season, if Bitcoin does go back to red, amazing. Whatever you're holding is gonna rip even further. But it could be that the old season that we're seeing is just different this time around, and you want to just catch those. I think Wizard was touching up on this. People are like being treated as X liquidity. Nobody's hodling anymore. People are aware of what's going on with the markets, where you want to take profits early so that you don't get screwed over on that big drop. So it's an evolving market. Bitcoin has been in the play for a long time. At the moment, we don't really have those speculative like retail dumb money that just throws money in and plans to hold for 10 years. Most people that are in the markets are real traders, and they're aware of all these like shenanigans that have been going on in crypto for the past 3 cycles. So it's and I do hope like the pi cycle 111 daily moving average is going up. So it does look like given maybe like sorry if it's a little bit too small. I'm gonna try to zoom in since it's you guys can see a little better. Yeah, there we go. So it is going up, and hopefully by like end of February, it's gonna be already at around 100,000. And at that point, 111 usually acts like super support in bull markets, as it does here and here. So, and then it acts resistance in like a bearish trend. I do hope that it will act as support, and if it's not Trump that will push us to this red line, it'll be like the 111, like a natural phenomenon of people just wanting to accumulate more Bitcoin.
And what are you thinking, Rom? One forceful push up to the red to call it a blow off top, or do you think we could have a double leg? So we go up, everyone gets euphoric, and we pull back again, and then go again a bit later on in the year.
Yeah, we could be doing something like really like the parabolic moves. Like if you measure them so far, they have been around price range. So nice, like 100%. So yeah, we could easily, if we have like another parabolic leg up, we could go to purple. We could just smash through red and go straight to purple, and then the top would be around 200,000. It's so that could very well happen. Once we get this push towards red, there'll be like a nice like drop to maybe green again, and then from there it'll just go straight to purple. This is where you're going to see a lot of nice altcoin mania. Again, like I said, don't at this point, you should be also trading these alts, because right now it looks like old season, a lot of old indicators. If I go out of pi cycle back to regular charts, like if I go to total 3, it looks like we did a nice W here. So that's going up. Bitcoin dominance looks like it's also well, Bitcoin dominance kind of did a W as well, which is a little bit scary, but as long
putting up a fight, but it's still lower highs.
Yeah, exactly. And even last cycle we did see something like this happen, where right, I think it was right here. Yeah, it reached the top, it went down and it reached the top again, and then it was like alt season. So it could be that, hopefully it won't be that long, but it could be that we're kind of doing the same thing. We reached the top, we went down, we're going to test that top again, and then it'll just be alt season. Could be something like that. I know, Wizard, you said 70% Bitcoin dominance. How convicted are you regarding that? Do you still think that's going to happen? That would be like
it's pretty extreme prediction, and
that'll be here somewhere.
I guess once the supply squeeze happens, right, and the ETFs need to fulfill their they need to buy the Bitcoin at the end of the day, and Michael Saylor says, hey, we have loads of Bitcoin, you can buy it off us, but guys, I'm gonna have to charge you a 15% premium just because there's so much demand. Like Coinbase wants some, the pump ETF, whatever the hell they're called, right? And it becomes a thing where like there's no Bitcoin for the spot dexes. The centralized exchanges don't have any, and then suddenly Microsoft wants a strategic reserve, and then France don't want to be left behind. It's on a different level. It's playing a whole different card game. It's playing big boy moves like challenging that the market for gold is a different thing than like a bunch of insiders speculating on new retardio memes. Like, it's just a different thing. One is adult and the other is immature and like a scam.
Right. Yeah. So I guess it's like that's tug of war of how many people are gonna want to get into the space to make money, and how many people are in the space for the long term as like a treasury asset. And at the moment, it kind of looks like we are going into this euphoric space, because especially with Trump, I had like, this was like finally that month once Trump launched his Trump coin, people really got excited. Like people really were like, hey, the money opportunity is here. I was in a coffee shop getting my nice caramel macchiato, and I see this old guy with his phone watching YouTube video of early birds entering Solana. So he's like watching the tutorial how to download the Phantom wallet.
Well, they actually had a record number of downloads, didn't they, to the Phantom wallet on that day? Because I mean, there was
top signal
that just weren't in Solana.
yeah, exactly. So it does feel like finally we're getting that like those boomer 401ks that are about to just like do the last minute push.
Well, we even got Freddy Krueger, wasn't it? He stopped being a Bitcoin maxi and taught everyone how to do pump.fun memes. And
that was the stupid coin one. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we have that now, this narrative where people are finally opening their eyes onto crypto. However, it might not be the same amount of eyes as we had before. Maybe it'll be more. Really, Bitcoin will determine that. At the end of the day, right now it's at $100,000. It's already making a statement that it's 6 figures to buy one Bitcoin. Not like how it was before last year, where it was like 70,000 for the whole year. It's already a six-figure price. It's a big boy asset. Not everybody can afford Bitcoin, unfortunately, and hopefully this price will hold so that it'll make a bigger statement within the coming months, and at that point, people are gonna experience FOMO.
Guys, I wasn't seakyling. I was moving my laptop screen. Sorry about that. I mean, it's pretty cringe, isn't it? We've got like Trump coming in with his token, immediately like withdrawing $500 million, so like just dumping on his voter base and his fans.
Really?
And then we have the whole of crypto Twitter freaking out because on day one Trump didn't executive order a federal mandate to pump everybody's bags. I mean, we're getting cringier by week. Elon is behaving in weird ways, and I don't know, like I don't know if retail's coming in, and I don't know if alt season. I think alts just slowly underperform, and if you're really clever, then you can spot the ones that are good. You can get ADA before it pumps. You can, but I don't think people are gonna see Bitcoin go 150 or right. There's no more money left in Bitcoin. I now have to buy DeFi protocols and like insider memes. I just don't think that's how it works. I think the money coming into crypto is still going up, but it's just I miss the bullish days of 2024. They were sick. They were good times, and then now things have changed a little bit. It's all a bit cringe. It's all people feel desperate on the timeline if it doesn't pump, and it's just a bit whack. And I'm sorry to. I'm always got this negative outlook, but you have to remember I lost so much money on crypto, and it was like at a time where like my life was the lowest. Like I think in 2022, like I was just having issues with meeting friends and like various health issues and stuff, and to like. It's this constant feedback thing of like you're losing money, and then like basically becoming a degenerate gambler. Like,
it does feel like it.
So that's where my negative outlook comes from. Like I don't like the memes. I just don't like the space anymore, and I don't think I'm not even sure if I ever did, kind of thing. And I'm like ready to quit, and that'll be fine. Like. Because I'll have learned like why I dislike everything about crypto traders, and that will be like new knowledge, and I can carry that into my future. But like, as far as like, I think Bitcoin's good. Buy Bitcoin. I think don't listen to anybody who ever tells you to buy an altcoin, because you don't have the same tools that the person who's telling you that has to like gauge whether it's the right narrative, it's the right token dilution, it's the right stage of the market, it's in the right. So don't ever listen if someone tells you to buy Solana here while we're heated up, tell them to fuck off and just buy some Bitcoin. Don't take out a loan to buy Bitcoin while it's high.
Definitely not.
And just live your life. Like we live in tough times where it's hard to get ahead, and like employees don't want you to work 50 hours, and they don't want to pay you well enough, and there's all these new taxes all the time, and prices are going up. But don't become a gambler. Like don't look at charts. Don't believe this tech fugazi. Like it's going to be Bitcoin's going to slowly churn year by year up, and it's going to beat inflation by about 10 or 12%, and it's a good little savings account, and you should just use it like that. But don't now that we've had our bull run, like, and if you haven't won, don't go all in or like say, okay, right. Don't feel bad about it. Like a lot of people got wrecked. A lot of people lost their money to people selling. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant, but that's where I'm at.
Well said. Absolutely well said.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you should go chasing. I definitely was saying earlier this month, you should take some profits out, have some cash. And now I'm really saying it's like now's the opportunity to maybe trade actively. But yeah, once you make your profit.
Exactly. That's the one thing. If you're going to trade, I think now's the perfect moment to implement the strategy of as soon as you make your 2x, you take your initial out. And then at least you're playing with house money if you want to play in the first place.
Yep, exactly, yep. And it is looking at Trump coin, just for the past day transactions. It's been a weekend, so it's a little bit hard to predict. But it looks like there was more sell pressure from the whales than buy pressure. Now, for anybody who is using Trump as like this kind of altcoin season narrative, which is kind of the way that I'm treating this token at the moment. We'll see what happens this coming week. I know the Fed is going to make a speech on the interest rates, and we kind of do see a little bit like a retracement from the inversion that I'm monitoring that kind of shows, you know, if the recession is going to come or not. So I set my alert on the daily chart at 1%. Usually when we hit 1%, that's like recession is already in. So it's nice to see that we're retracing, and hopefully we will go sideways. Something like, you know, like we did in the past, where we just go nice sideways down before we go back up to hit that one. But yeah, this is still on my radar. This would definitely be a get out, sell everything, even Bitcoin. You know, like hold cash, because you don't want to be if it's a recession and things are collapsing and you're not holding cash to buy Bitcoin back, you're going to be kind of riding that wave until the printer turns on. But in terms of interest rate, I did read an article saying that they do have a couple banks predicting that it might go back up to 5%, and that's what's going to trigger that recession if it breaks that 5%, you know, top that it had last, when was this, 2 years ago, October 2023. But yeah, so we still have time. You know, interest rates, they don't rally so fast. Like they do when it's on a lower levels. But once they reach some kind of top, they start going sideways, because, you know, there's definitely going to be buyers who start buying the government debt. It makes sense at these levels for them to buy. Once those buyers already are done and you're waiting for the next pool of buyers, that's when interest rates start going, you know, rallying up higher. But yeah, if you look at a time frame, how long these rallies happen, I believe it's like 2 to 3 months. So that would fit perfectly in like the sell in May, go away narrative. It's right here, this one. Sorry, yeah, date range. So if you go from here to here, 88 days, yes, yeah, so 3 months, you know. So if we had to say like, hey, when would be the next peak in interest rates that could cause something to break? Could be a good 3 months from here, which would be like in April to May. That's where, at that point, you know, we should already have experienced some kind of alt season.
Haven't they got cuts programmed in, or not programmed, but like?
Well, that's the thing about cuts. The cuts, they only go for short-term rates. They don't affect long-term rates.
Oh yeah.
Like and that's what's going to make the inversion even bigger. So like, let's say they start cutting short-term rates, but the long-term buyers, they're not going to budge. And they're going to still demand, they're not going to buy US 10-year bonds. This is just going to keep going up, and the short-term rates are going to go down, and that's going to push it even faster. So this inversion is just going to like really start picking up towards that recession hit.
What do you mean inversion? Sorry, can you just define?
Well, I guess now it's not an inversion anymore. My fault. Before, inversion was when it was negative, like it was a inverted yield curve where the short-term rates were paying higher yield than the long-term rates. So that's like that's an abnormal effect. Usually, when you give somebody money for a longer time, you would want a higher premium for that. But for years, we've been basically
in a worrying situation that doesn't make sense, and that all seemed to fix itself.
Yeah, we were incentivizing short-term lending over long-term lending.
Oh, so that started to fix itself in May.
Yeah, exactly. So around like here, it was going down. So it was, last time it was above zero was August 2022.
So Trump is literally the Messiah, is what you're saying?
No, not the Messiah. Trump is going to be inheriting this this recession, and he's gonna have to fix it somehow. This is just it's gonna, you know, like maybe if Trump would be the Messiah, he would prolong this from hitting 1. Basically, he would maybe go push it back down. But again, this is the big player here is the long-term rates, because this is determined by open markets. Before, the Fed used to buy these more and more.
I've lost you. Go back to the last chart.
Yep, the 10.
I mean, Trump could easily implement some policies that encourage people to buy the 10-year bonds.
Oh, we don't want to be paying. We don't want to be paying if it goes up. Can't you see? I'm confused. So if it goes up, that would be paying more interest to people who buy the 10-year bonds, and that doesn't make sense.
No, that does make sense. So it's things are normalizing. So things are going back to normal, which is good. It makes sense. But historically, for some reason, when this happens, usually a recession gets kicked in. So if I open like the historical,
That's the break-even soy boys in TradFi.
And you were tweeting about that, Justin, saying it's
Really
not time to
long-term ones.
quit your day job and do the side hustle and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, thanks. I basically see the warning signs in like the housing market, so I have a different way. But let's look at how ROM looks at the incoming recession.
So historically, when this would go negative and then it would revert back to like 1% level area, some kind of recession takes place. You know, .com bubble occurred also here. So
Noticing patterns. Yeah.
like right after the .com top hit, we started going down, but the recession wasn't determined until 2021.
There's like a delay. There's like a delay between like when you notice. Yeah, okay. And then the world admits it's a recession like a year or two afterwards.
If they don't change the definition of recession, of course.
If I say like the whole economy, exactly, Matthew, like it relies on like people being consumers and stuff. It's all shady and it doesn't make sense. But on a normie view, what is this delay between it going negative and then like the recession actually happening? It's just like it takes a while for things to unwind, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I just overlaid with the S&P 500 just to make it. This one is pretty accurate. So like, let's say this date right here. This was the 2008 recession. December 2007. If you look at the S&P 500 price at December 2007, right here, it was $2,200. From there, it went all the way down to 1,100.
Brutal.
So
Wreckage.
Where it hit like
you should have just held some gold or some like Magic the Gathering playing cards.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where like it really got close. It broke like within a month, basically. It broke one and just skyrocketed, right? So here again, you know, you had like March 2001 and April. So within a month, it broke. Whenever this 1 month happens where we just push over this 1%, you really want to get the hell out. So this was April 2001. It's you know, it might be a little bit late, but still it's better than nothing. So April 2001, you're at 2,200 S&P 500, and then you know from there it went all the way down to 1,400. So it's even though you're not catching the top, but at least you're securing something, right? Before it goes further down. In Matthew's, in the Theo's terms, this probably would be like once it breaks that like daily or weekly 120 moving average. This probably, if you had to overlay it now, like the S&P 500 index, I would assume the 120 is somewhere there. It could be interesting to compare, but just by looking at it, it kind of looks like that's what that is. And then if you go, even in COVID, when it went, well, I guess in COVID it kind of did that right on that month. It went from, so COVID was a little different because it's a health concern, that like a health crisis that pushed yields negative and then really positive, normalized them. But April 2020, so March, this is when it hit that 0.5, and April, things are already crashing. So that's why I had like my initial indicator was at 0.5, and then my ultimate indicator is at 0.1. Just because, you know,
there's a pattern when 10-year bond yields go to negative, as in you're paying people money to borrow money, then it takes a couple months, and in four of the previous instances, we've seen recession or crash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and even over here, 1990. So July and August of 1990. That was the third one.
What do you call this sort of idea or this whole concept?
July. So yeah, July. You're still catching like 1990. I mean, you would be catching. Sorry, my bad. I was way off. That was 1999. July 1990 would be here somewhere.
So what's the name of this concept?
So yeah, you're still here. You'll be at 861, and the crash. It was a very quick crash, but still it went down to 700. The name of this concept, I would assume it would be like, I don't know if I would give it a fancy name right now, but maybe we could brainstorm one. It would be like the bond, the revenge of the bond whales, or something like that. You know, like these guys, they don't trade. Like the actual whales of our economies, of the financial system, they only buy, you know, bonds, whether it's like these big banks or investment banks or you know, like the hedge funds. They're trading bonds. They're not touching stocks. They're not touching Apple. They don't care. They're buying, you know, UK bonds. They're buying Japan bonds. They're buying United States bonds, and they're trading these interest rates. You know, they're putting billions of dollars, and they're cashing 1% here, 2% there, 3% there, and that's, for them, that's more than enough, because, you know, they're not gonna want to put something in a risky asset like Apple, where they're more comfortable with dealing with the government, because they know that the government is eventually gonna print more money, you know, no matter what. So if they can catch a nice rate, if they can secure a good 5% U.S. Treasury 10-year right now, they know that once the shit hits the fan, this is going to be this is going to be caking for them, because the U.S. government is going to have no choice but to start pushing real rates really quickly down to zero. And that's when the U.S. Treasury rates will have to follow no matter what. So they trade mostly bonds, these bankers, the bond whales, whatever you want to call them. So from there, they take that money and they buy the dips on everything else. So they'll buy Apple stock at that point. They'll buy Bitcoin. They'll buy real estate, whatever crashes the most. They'll buy out companies, as we've seen in 2008. Very, very. They do this. I don't know. This is how the money rotates into their pockets. And us people, we're just going to find some kind of narrative to put it in the news, whether it's going to be commercial real estate collapsing or something else. We'll definitely find some kind of something to ping it to.
Some
But
excuse for the price action.
yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna put down my screen, but that's the way I look at it. At least coming this year, we should definitely have a nice old season. Hopefully not like Wizard says that it doesn't get skipped. That would suck. But even if it does, we still made a lot of money. I started the cycle with like $10,000. I'm sitting around like I think it was like not disclosed, like 5-6x from that. So that's amazing. You know, yes, I'm not like super rich, but I could, if I play it smart, I could go to like a developing country, buy something, buy a house there, and have like some kind of real estate. So you don't want to be like a soy boy, where like greedy, you know, like, oh, I could have made more. I should probably dump all my money into some meme coin to get a 10x, last minute 10x, and then that goes. And you're like,
get rugged.
you're done.
That's the problem with chasing narratives as well.
Yeah,
it's a little bit since yesterday. Like I was up 5x and then got a quick rug, and then I was only at 4x.
It's that last 2x that gets you.
Bought back in, and it's grinding down. Now I'm at a 3.5x, and it's like you feel that 5x is yours, and then you're sad because now you're down from that high, but actually you're still up 350%, right?
Also big, yeah.
Yeah, don't be sad that you're at a 3x when you could have had a 5x, right?
Yeah, exactly. Don't ever be sad that, you know, there's always opportunity. Another cycle is around the corner. You know, Bitcoin is not going anywhere, and it's going to keep pushing this financial system to its stress points every time. And if we're not going to get that degen cycle this time around, next cycle we could have it, you know.
We got a comment from PG. He says he's got here late to the stream, so he's going to catch up on double speed. So what we have to start doing now is talking at half speed, so that it sounds normal to PG. Hopefully, alt season, can you load the Vine chart for me? This coin looks interesting.
Sure, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna like be getting ready for work now, but
thanks for joining us, Ron.
I'll still have the computer on. I'll put some comments, and then I'll join you guys on the Discord afterwards. So while I'm driving to work. I'll do that.
Yeah, great one.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for coming in, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Okay, so here we have Vine on the 30-minute. Looks like it's at the bottom of the range, still at a very good level here. Do you guys hold any Vine token?
I don't, not at all.
About to.
Is that on Solana?
Yeah, it is.
It
I
got
caught mine
quick
very
with this.
early. Like I was within the first 30 minutes. I think this is one of those ones where I feel like I kind of bought and sold it a bit too early, or I left it overnight. It was way up, and then I bought back in at the top, and then it went down, and now
It went
you
down.
know, yeah, it's been tough to play it, but it's at a very high level here compared to where it's been. So it's been performing nicely. A lot of retail is coming in and wanting to play with Vine as if it's Dogecoin in 2017 or something.
Sounds good.
They identified that the Vine logo was integrated into Twitter's backend, so they're anticipating Vine will be integrated into Twitter. So that's, I think, why a lot of people are bullish on this. They see their donation to this token basket as somehow funding the development of Vine coming back, maybe as a competitor to TikTok.
And is
I'm
yeah, I was
guessing.
gonna say, is that the same Vine that sort of dwindled away not too long ago? I think it got bought out or something. Didn't it?
Yeah, it is. So yeah, the creator of Vine. So what's his name again? Creator of Vine, Russ Yusupov. Let's see if I can find him. Russ. So he actually launched this token. So in his bio, it says founder of Vine, 130K followers. And then he launched this token on his Twitter. Just as the hype around Vine being maybe a competitor to TikTok. And he was doing these videos talking to the camera so you would know it's not a rug and it's not a scam. Here he posted the contract address. So yeah, I caught this within the first 30 minutes. But yeah, I don't think I traded it as efficiently as I could have.
Let's hope he doesn't run.
30 minutes. God damn. Our man Theo is like on
I'm in the
computer.
trenches, absolutely.
He's on the Phantom. What you need to do, if you go on your Phantom wallet, I'm just going to put my password in now. This is some alpha. And then you go on the right hand of the 5 menus. It's like an explorer compass, okay? Imagine you're on a ship. Click on the compass. Then click on see more because you want to see more butts. And then go from 24 hours to 1 hour.
Wow.
Yeah, this is sometimes how our guy Theo manages to catch some early birds.
No, I usually stay on the 24-hour. I didn't even know you could do this on the 1 hour.
Wizard Alpha.
Wizard
That's
Alpha.
nice.
There we go.
Oh, and it has like way more than
This
top
is
10 as well.
Like a chart. It's like a chart.
This
it's
is
like-
serious.
Top 50 ways to lose all your money right there.
Top 100. Top 98.
Just don't go all in. Just
This
do
is
10
extreme
different ones.
momentum trading. 5-second attention spans. You're in.
And
I
here's
think
our
it's
man
goes
Link
up,
with
Chart
28.
You're
RSI.
safe. You're not safe. It's a
I
bit
see
like
ondaxbt has been winning the day. What is this ondaxbt?
was that the fake Phantom coin on there on trending? The one that you showed me before the stream.
No, that one looks like a piece of shit. Onda XBT. Interested about this. This is like #1 place, right?
Load up the 3 minute or the 5 minute.
Okay.
Please. In general, for these memes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be a buying zone. Let's
Yeah, that's
see
great.
what the Twitter's all about. So 14K followers. Dev journal, automated. So it's some type of Twitter bot, potentially an AI agent.
That's lost my attention.
Yeah.
How are the
What's
AI,
happening?
AI bots doing now? Are we
The frameworks outperformed the, bots or the memes. So Rom thinks AI 16Z is a play. Virtuals announced that they're launching on Solana, which did nothing to the price, which made me squint my eyes a bit.
It's a bit like Trump coming to Solana. It didn't really do. I mean, it punched
That's
up
a good
the
point,
first day,
Matthew.
but then
Like, he brought so much volume to the chain. Like, Radium, I think Radium pumped, if we're being fair, but I do like your point there.
it's a bit of a top signal, isn't it?
I see where you're coming
Potentially.
from.
Yeah, Radium's been really strong recently. But yeah, virtuals didn't seem to move much on the news about it. moving to Solana. It's actually
And that
down a
means it
little
gets
bit.
all the extra. It means it's paired with Solana, not with soy ETH. Solana pumps, ETH goes sideways. The ratio is
The ratio is fucking annoying.
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like it wants to dump, but then it just goes and fucking it wicks you out and retests. It's like, okay, so we're playing a bit longer. But I mean, I do still think that it's topping out, but could be totally wrong.
Sometimes I see an AI agent on my TradingView like go up 40%. So I go, oh, I knew I should have held all those agents. I knew I should have held on to that narrative.
I know.
And I go on the
exactly.
chart, and it's like it's just recovering after a massive dump. Like
yeah, it's up 10%, but it's down. It was down 60% or something.
exactly.
Yeah. Now we can check on aixbt. But yeah, Gerhard keeps saying that the AI agents have been outperforming the AI memes, right?
No, he said the AI frameworks have been outperforming the AI memes. I don't quite understand what an AI meme is.
Like Fartcoin would be like an AI meme, like just a meme created by AI. But it's not so
Got it.
much an agent.
Of course,
The
like
actual
Goat-
agent is Truth Terminal.
Yeah, the OG. He was assigned Goat, and he took it under his wing to
Yeah.
promote it.
Goats that's like down bad, isn't it?
I would think so, yeah. Fartcoin sucked all the air out of Goat. Look at that chart. Gotta nuke this chart.
Wow, we've
Yeah.
got our, like,
I mean,
The
that was all
feminist
the
choir.
rage, wasn't it? Everyone was like, "Goat is the best thing since fucking sliced bread." Look at it now.
Yeah, Goat's not doing too good.
Damn those AI agents.
bro.
Air Turnus has a coin he wants us to check out, but he did not provide the ticker.
Theo
I'm not
is
seeing
Eric
it.
Crown. What's the ticker? You've even got the cackles in the background. That's great.
That's amazing.
Theo's got his own
MIA.
Elsa.
Celestia. Meow coin? Is this it? Okay, let's go on like Coin Gecko. MIA. Missing in action. Made in America. Mia swap.
There's
Okay,
many
Okay, it's
of
got to
them.
be this Made in America one.
Yeah, it's a political meme. This obviously going to do well this week. Anything political, like that makes sense. Like everything is just. It doesn't have to make sense in crypto land, in meme land. If it's the thing of the week, it's the thing of the week. It's a new excuse to run a new Ponzi.
Oh, nice website. 100% American resilience. A currency for dreamers, built on innovation. Humor meets virality. Seems a bit AI like.
Oh my god.
This is like some AI website. It just has a big buy now button. There's nothing else to it. And a Twitter. 2,000 followers.
If it's a new week, it's a new narrative. So sell all your made in America now.
Literally. Let me check out the chart on Bullx here. Okay, that's kind of nice actually there. And we're on the 5 minute. Little pullback here. Could be an entry. Found it at 300K market cap. I sent it in the group, but no one commented it. Now it's at 7.2 million. Wow. So Air Turnus is now the governor of Canada, I guess. That's nice. Nothing else to say about that really, unless you guys have any comments.
No, what time frame is that on? Obviously, it's
That was the 5 minute. We could go down to the 3
an
minute.
uptrend, but I mean, let's zoom out.
Yeah, like where's the volume? Yeah, there's a few transactions coming
If
through.
it's creeping up and there is low volume, but it's continuous up, it still could be bullish. If it's a
Yeah,
slow
not
creep
too
up.
bad.
I'm curious what you think about wrap Bitcoin on Pulsechain.
Okay, so where do I find it?
You're right on it there. So
Oh,
on
okay, let me go back.
Pulsecoin list, you activate SOMI mode,
This one?
and yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool.
So for quite a while, the speculation is that
Wow.
obviously everyone thinks that it's nothing to do. Initially, everyone was saying, "Oh, it's nothing to do with Richard. It's just a scam. It's just a scam." But now he's posting about all the pCopy tokens, and if you look at the if you zoom out even more, go on a weekly chart or
Okay.
something. I mean, it does look like
Wow.
a token where something is happening, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's amazing. If it can close this candle, that's new all-time high.
Yeah, and so I see much more value in buying something like this. I could sort of, there's a narrative that could be Richard building in the background, and if he's doing the same sort of like, I mean, let's not beat around the bush. The Ponzi-nomics are strong with Richard. I mean, what he did with Hex was brilliant last time. I totally missed the boat, but I watched it happen, and I tell you, it gives you serious FOMO to watch those rockets just going up only.
Yeah.
And when I saw it was down 99%, I thought, well, I want to have something in there. And to be honest, this is one of the ones that's like really paying off. And at this stage, it's only 100x to get to Bitcoin's price today. So who knows?
So do I type like pBTC if I want to find it, or how to?
No, it's pWBTC.
Oh, okay, let me try. pWBTC. Oh, that doesn't
No,
work.
not what. So there's a load of scammers that have created. So, but basically, if you write wrap Bitcoin, no, wBTC, and then you slash, and then you put wrap pulse, so wPLS.
Oh, okay. Okay, try that. Sweet.
No, that's the other one.
Oh,
I did actually get it up on the regular deck screener, not deck screener, on TradingView.
oh, okay. Let me try that then. So I can get the contract address somehow.
No, I just typed in. I mean, I'll do it right now. I typed in wBTC / wPLS.
No, that doesn't work. Oh no, yeah, wBTC on Pulse.
No, it doesn't work.
I did manage to get it before, but I can't recreate it. My internet's like spazzing out again.
So
Okay, no worries. We got this one.
if I'm looking at wrapped pulse on Ethereum, is that an accurate representation of how the Hex community is basically doing in general?
Wrap pulse on a thing. No, so recently there's been a pool made on Ethereum and also on Pulsechain, which are pools between Pulsechain and ETH and wrap Pulsechain and ETH. And I'm not entirely sure. Let me just go back onto the thing. Are you sharing your screen? Was this Theo?
Yeah, because like Hex on Ethereum is different price than Hex on Pulse, right?
Correct.
It's worth more on Pulse.
But there is only Pulse. If you use it in the protocols, they wrap it, so it's wrap Pulse, but it's the same price as Pulse.
If I load up the price of wrapped pulse on Pulse X spot crypto.
Correct. That'll be the dollar denominated price for wrap pulse.
So on the 12 hourly, some new bullish divergences after a big boy dip from a price of many zeros and an 8 to many zeros and a 5. So you've swallowed up 41%. Since when is that? Since early January.
I got in September.
Are you looking at this wrap Pulse versus DAI, or am I on the wrong chart?
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
That's the one. That's the correct one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm on the daily right now, or the 12-hour.
Yeah, but that's the name. But if you have a look at the bar at the top, it says it's denominated in USD. No, on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it's looking like the
no,
RSI
that's
on
fine.
the
You had it.
12-hourly
You had it fine.
is above 50. It's at 61, and you've got all these bullish divergences.
The
You've
biggest
made
thing,
a higher low. After making a higher high, you've made a higher low. After you buying in September, you've made a high, a low, a higher high, and a higher low.
correct. So we're uptrending.
Nice.
So basically, if you zoom all the way out, if you go on a weekly and zoom all the way out, you will be able to see this similar sort of chart all across the whole of the Pulsechain ecosystem. So it's just one big massive triangle that that is sort of waiting to break out, get to the end and break out, which was very similar to XRP. It was just stuck in this very long massive triangle, and we're now very sort of slowly, I must admit, it's I mean, it's a bit up, then you go back down a bit, but it's still performing all right. And it's slowly creeping its way up.
Screen, Matthew?
No, I can't share my screen. It's not.
Can you load up AVAX? Can you tell me what you think? Because obviously, Rat Pulse is going to the moon. It's going to do an XRP, but what's AVAX going to do?
On the daily?
I always got burnt on AVAX, and last bull run, and after I got burnt for the second time, where I sold and it rallied up again, I was like, you know what, this token doesn't like me. So I got rid of it.
Yeah, it's been bouncing off the 120 here.
You about it again. Sorry.
No, it's cool. I'm not.
I still hold a little bit of AVAX, like it's a decent bag. But yeah, it's dancing off the 120 here, which is a good sign that it bounced off of it. It's closing above it. So
are they still focusing on being a gaming chain, or are they pivoted from that?
I think that's the main narrative.
Real world assets. They want to give everybody their own customizable blockchain so that they can comply with the local jurisdiction law of whatever they're doing. So they want to
kind of like Polkadot, but with different laws.
Yeah, but
so it has a target of like $60 here.
Okay,
that would take you into February, maybe March.
Yeah, February for $60. Otherwise, don't ever talk to me about Avalanche again.
Zoom all the way out, Theo. Go on to like a weekly and zoom out.
Okay.
Is that just the hopium for Wizard?
Well, I like the linear regression channel. Obviously, I love it. And so it was sort of like at the down range. So I was just looking at the top of the range. That we'd like to see it go up there. It's holding good support here.
Yeah, and the moving average looks like it's trying to curl up, and it keeps getting nudged down. So it looks like it could be bottoming out, the shorter term moving average. I could be ready for another pump. I think a lot of the market is actually a lot of coins are all coiled up and ready, except for obviously the proper shitters.
You agree with Rom? It's time to get spicy with some high volatility. I agree with both of you. Like it is a lot of fun. It is good to have your eyes open at this kind of stage in the market, definitely.
At least have it on your watch list and sort of know that there's a possibility that this is what could be happening. If you jump in later,
take one hand and put it down your trousers and check that you still own a pair of cojones. Take the other hand and deposit fiat into the crypto space.
Back up the fiat truck.
At this point, because Bitcoin looks also like it's like, I'm gonna go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make sure you get your initial out if you do make gains. Or
don't do that. Don't be a pussy.
Well, this year historically is sort of net sellers year, so we will go up. But if you hold throughout the whole year, whatever you buy, you could potentially be underwater. It might be a massive super cycle, like the narrative is there, and I could be proven totally wrong. But
Matthew's right. Don't go underwater because if exactly don't become 4-year crybaby.
Yeah, it also if say you buy near a top and everything, it's really demoralizing if you haven't got the sort of the drive to start, instead of just crying about the money that you've lost, actually look into what you're buying. There is no other way of gaining the conviction to hold. So I mean, just if you make profits, get out before it's too late.
There's only a 50% chance that you have the mental capability to like research the crypto market and start understanding it more and start becoming better. Like it might just not be for you, kind of thing.
That's why Michael Saylor only invests in like one coin, right? Because he says it takes like thousands of hours to study the single coin. You can't really put that much time into 100 different coins, or 1,000 if you're an FTE, right?
But I would definitely, I would definitely not. Even if I am saying to sell, like make sure you do get at least your initial out by the time this year is over. Because if we're in the euphoria and everyone's like, oh, singing kumbaya, look how great life is, that's definitely time to be selling. But I mean, if you don't get your initial out, then it'll hurt when you suddenly goes against you, and then you'll be back holding for ages. And if you don't have the drive to actually go and study it and find out what the true sort of crypto spirit that made Bitcoin go from nothing to what it is and into the religion that it's becoming, then I mean, it's better to just keep an eye on it. If it starts going into a downtrend, then just keep an eye on it. Watch the downtrend. Just go, oh, thank God I sold. Thank God I sold. And eventually, historically, if you wait a year and you haven't forgotten about it, you should have a decent buying entry.
That's a fact. It only took a year for me, like from 2022 to like getting the bounce back, and it's not a long time. So you want to spend that year just sort of like, yeah, I totally agree with everything like you're saying. What coins should we load up, Matthew, to look at?
I mean, personally, I'm a lot in. I've got so many different coins I'm looking at, but at the moment I've been very fixated on the Pulsechain ecosystem. pDAI and Wrap Bitcoin on Pulse, they are just proof that something is happening. If like for the people that are saying that Rich could not possibly be behind it, there's nothing he could be doing there. I mean, the chart says differently.
Back to 2 cents.
Yeah, back to 2 cents. I mean, if we break 3, which I think is the all-time high on closing candles, then Somi says 10 cents is the point where, but hopefully everyone will clock on it, and then if not, then who knows? We might even pay.
How often does Somi dress up like a banana?
I don't think I've ever seen him dress up as a banana.
It's a different influencer, but the banana guy.
That's Dirty Turkey.
Dirty Turkey is a Hexian.
Yeah, he's the dick with that.
Is he a Hexian or hex? He's a hex.
Hexagon.
He's a hex. He's a shape.
He's in the. Is he a shape? No, he's got his own profile pictures himself on X. It's Dirky, like Turkey, but the first one's got a D.
Is he autistic or is he just retarded?
Probably a bit of both, but I mean, aren't we all? I know I am. I found my people with these lot. They're proper. Their memes are fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Okay. Is there generally more of a flat earthy like?
No, that's just because we've got alien coins in there. A lot of the people that like watch the follow the UFO narratives and like aliens, we're all in there. Like it's a lot of the conspiracies and conspiracy theorist people are in there. That's why I've been saying it, because there's a lot of different like alien themed coins.
I haven't invented that meme, but there's some truth to it. So if I'm on DeFi Llama and I want to look at hexes,
but you got Dome as well, which is a flat earther coin.
So you've got actual memes to do with the kind of that kind of like you're aligned with that stuff, and that comes out in like meme coins. If I'm on DeFi Llama and I want to look at the TVL, do I type in hex or do I type in pulse?
Well, it's Pulsechain is the chain that it's all on. So you'd look at to look at the TVL, you would go on Pulsechain. So that is
what's Pulse X? Is it the number one? Is it
Pulse
the number
X
one?
Is what Uniswap would have loved to be.
Yeah, would like to be. It would like to be as cool as Pulse X. It looks at Pulse X. It's the guy Uniswap told his Uniswap's girlfriend told Uniswap to not worry about Pulse X.
That's the one. No, basically,
7-day
every
change.
transaction that goes through Pulsex, that's routed through Pulsex, there's a portion of the transaction of Pulsex which is burned, and it's burned forever. And if you go on the GoPulse website, you can actually track the burn, and
No,
underneath
you're not listening to what I'm saying. Like, I don't have an okay, thank you for the introduction, but I still don't get it. Why does it say under $1 billion?
What does what say on billion?
On
The
DeFi Llama?
TVL is on Pulsechain is 750.
That's just value locked in DeFi, though, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of sort of controversy on how it's tracked anyway, because I'm not sure if it takes into consideration the DOA coins, the origin address coins, which are basically just a load of coins in a wallet that are like the protocol wallet, and it's thought to be that they're in Richard's possession. Like he owns the keys and whatnot, and he's in control of them. And obviously someone has to pull the strings to like work on the system and whatnot.
If I'm an ETH dev, if I'm an EVM dev,
yeah,
and I build a DApp on Pulsechain, so I get a welcoming community.
You get some a free airdrop. That might not be what, because if you've been in ETH for a long time, when they forked.
Oh no, I get it.
Yeah. So you whatever ETH tokens you had at the time of the fork, you'll have a P copy over there.
So you have loads of Uniswap tokens. What am I supposed to do with them? There's no Uniswap.
There is a P uni actually.
There's a P uni. Yeah. So I get like, do I get faster transactions? Do I get like new innovative technology, or do I basically get like EVM but like a cool community attached to it?
No. So Richard has actually lowered the block size, block time or something like that, and he's enhanced the block size or something. So he's basically made the time shorter and increased the amount of transactions it can do at any given time. So he has done some things in the background to enhance the L1. But the beauty about it is like how, like what he calls it. So he doesn't technically have to work on all of that because he's a fork of Ethereum. Once Ethereum launches updates, he can then put those updates onto Pulsechain. They are building stuff to enhance the network on their own way that is not the same as ETH. But if any sort of Ethereum makes an upgrade, oh, this is the best thing ever, they can actually port that back into Pulsechain. That's why a very tongue-in-cheek manner, Richard Hart says that, or has said in the past, that Ethereum is the testnet of Pulsechain.
So on top of evangelizing the Hex community and like being a cool dude and being a key Moralis community member, you're also a skilled leverage trader. You're also a skilled like quant trader.
I wouldn't say I'm super skilled, no.
I always talk you up about how you're always perp trading and showing your wins and stuff.
No, I the best way for me that I learned to actually get consistent, I only started trading properly this bull run. I first got introduced to it when I started buying DCAing Bitcoin, and I thought, well, I could see all the volatility happening in the background, and I was watching Banter quite a lot at the time, and then they did the courses, and the courses were basically, as I think they still are, they're free courses, free trading courses. That all you have to do is fund the account with $100.
Is the Air Crown Banter collab?
It's the like the Banter Club, yeah, that came afterwards. But they started off with Sheldon's course, a sniper course.
Okay.
And that's when I first sort of was introduced to the whole drawing the patterns and actually doing technical analysis. I didn't really believe in it before, and I watched that. Got wrecked quite a few times. I mean, it works. Obviously, he shows you in quite a way so you can understand it, and I got it. But just putting it into practice was a bit harder. It was hard to know like when this breakout has a possibility of actually properly breaking out. And then after a bit of trial and error, you lose quite a bit of money. They suddenly came out with Eric Crown's course, and I have been watching Eric Crown for a long time anyway. But I hadn't really understood his system so well, because he likes to sort of keep it a bit like not hidden, but he doesn't make exact references. He has funny ways of referring to things. Like if you don't understand Tom Crown's vocabulary, Eric Crown's vocabulary, then you won't
green
understand
dildos and the doulas.
Yeah, and the herp and derps and everything. He's just
Yeah.
And shoulders.
Inverse
Yeah,
herp and derp
exactly.
pattern. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's your first herp. There's your derp.
Then your derp, yeah. No. So when I did his course, that was actually an eye opener, and I ever since pretty much done that. And then I did the he had a I think it was Black Friday or something. He had a free month trial or something like that, and I did that his quant course, and it's actually really good. So that's where I sort of it clicked for me during that, and I realized that it's like what he's actually like talking about and explaining to you. And as long as you follow the trend and you know that the trend is your friend, and you know how to read that.
The trend. Don't trade against the trend.
Exactly. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It really is.
Turtle trader.
How do you know what trend you're in? Like that's another one. Like he explains it so well. I'd highly recommend doing all of the trade like a quant course. That's brilliant stuff there. And that's like a bit more of a the banter course that they did. That's like a bit more of an in-depth version of that.
Great.
And that helps just loads.
I really wondered today. I was thinking, oh, I wonder if that's good. Trade like a quant.
But don't get me wrong. You've still got to use proper risk management.
So what's the top 3 reasons? Don't use risk management. Go all in. So what's the top 3 reasons Solana is cucked in comparison to Pulse and Hex community, Pulsechain?
You buy low and you sell high. When everyone's telling you that something is dead and it's never coming back, normally you need to look at it and assess for yourself, is it dead and never coming back? Solana was dead and never coming back. And then so I sold, and then it went down, made a bottom, came back up, and I was like, oh shit, I'm not going to miss this again. So I bought back in and I rode that all the way to the top. And then it started correcting, and they put in this sort of funky top. I've missed the big pump to 2 and 200 and past. I'm not salty about that. I'm happy with that. You can't buy everything, but I saw an opportunity where everyone was saying, the whole market was saying that this is wrong, and I just saw it was cheap. And then when I sold it, everyone was saying, you had consensus. Everyone saying, "Oh, Solana's the dog's bollocks, and it's going to be the best thing, and it's going to eat Ethereum's lunch." That to me is like a bit toppy. Is like everyone's super exuberant when it was dying a couple of years ago. Everyone was calling it Sam's coin, and then you got a load of VCs coming and they started shilling it, and it pumped like 10x or whatever or more. And you're like, well, fuck me.
This seems like Ethereum's outperforming Sol here, actually.
I think that it's now the time in the cycle. I mean, you guys do you and everything, but when I got out of Solana, I wanted to get into something that's kind of like more in line with Ethereum, because that's what I believe Bitcoin is money and Ethereum is like a decentralized financial sector that's like emerging, and it's really going to be like potentially something really big. I mean, the TVL just shows that even with all the growth that Solana's had, Ethereum is still 50% of all the TVL in crypto. And basically I was looking for something that was leverage on ETH, and Pulsechain is like it's pretty much leverage on ETH. You've got Richard Hart that's got a big bag of ETH that like if he does like Hex, he's going to rotate into it at the end of the cycle. So last time what happened was Hex was pumping, and then he had all the ETH that was like sacrificed, and he then, when he thought the market was over and the ETH had topped out, he then rotated all of that ETH into Hex and made the God candle up. And basically he can do the same this time around. And I mean, it's not, you don't have to bet your life saving. I'm not never saying bet your life savings. Even I might be like 12% of my portfolio in Pulsechain. So it's not like I'm like totally all in, but I think it's a good way for the cycle at least. I think it could be a good long-term hodl, to be honest. I think that it could survive the next cycle if ETH proves itself and does even better. I think it could survive. But even if not, it's a good pumpy coin that's undervalued. There's a mad community behind it that are still like 90-odd% underwater from when they first got in, and a lot of them all believe, and they're memeing and they're pushing it and they're marketing it, and there's 2 conferences per year, and there's just so much happening to be a dead project. You know, it's not like a Terra Luna where everything went up, went down, and I mean now what do you hear? They had the fork. You've got the Terra Classic, Terra 2.0, whatever, and I don't know anyone that's holding that now, so that I'd call dead.
PG asks, so Matt, are you mostly out of Solana presently?
Mostly, yeah. I do have some Solana altcoins. I've got a bit of Sol left just for fees. I've got like maybe a couple $100 in Sol. I mainly hold Solana coins that I'm like supporting, or as a token of support for like friends and the community. So I'm holding like Phil and Coke coin that Theo launched on Pump.fun. I'm holding MG coin, which is Maugie Games, which is a good friend of the Tom Crown community. She's doing a really interesting project over there. Actually, we can showcase Moralis' new
is that from
if you go Moralis,
MG coin?
MG coin, yeah.
Yeah, that's from Squid Game.
Yeah, well, hers is Maugie Games coin.
Okay, cool.
Is that the one?
I don't know.
I don't think that's the one. No,
This is on Pulse, or?
Yeah, no, it's not on Pulse. It's on Solana. So if you go on on Moralis, because they've got the Pump.fun tokens now that you can search for them. Search MG. Mog.
When you say you're 12% allocated into Hex, are you including all the coins on Pulsechain as well?
I'll do some quick math, which I'm not very good at, but I'll do some quick math. Let's have a look. It might be a bit more than that, but I might be 15%-ish or something like that in Pulsechain coins of my total portfolio. But I'm like adamant that I'm not selling my Bitcoin ever. So that's just basically a small allocation that I've sort of got there, and I feel like I could hold for quite a while, because if you look at the chart, we've just come off the lows. We've scraped the bottom of that triangle, and unless we do an XRP where we go 7 years without doing anything, it should increase from my entry. So I'm happy to hold it. And it'll be really, really, really interesting if Richard manages to do what like the community speculates that he's set out to do. Like a community backed, like not backed, but a community funded stable coin. Just so much different stuff that's going on. That's like it is like the innovation of this cycle. I think it's the how can you take the ball and run with it.
How can you take the ball and run with it? It's the innovation of this cycle, because there's so much going on. I'm so confused. I'm sorry.
Right. So what is the technology? Everyone says, "Oh, Solana's the technology." So what they got? Okay, they got fast transactions, but has Solana really like proven that fast transaction is like the end all be all? Has it sucked all the TVL out of Ethereum? Has it taken over like everything? No, it's just proven that you can print a load of meme coins and have a super speculative, super crazy casino where everything's just like and super fast. Yeah, it'll have its use cases, but I don't think it's like something that's going to change how like finances operate, if you know what I mean. I mean, they set out initially wasn't the idea of Solana to become like quick enough to be the Nasdaq on blockchain or something like that.
Yeah, they used to have that meme. Yeah.
That's like what they sort of set out to do. So it will definitely have its use cases to have a fast transaction. But I think Ethereum at least has proven that it is doing something much larger than just trying to get fast transactions. Like the whole premise of Ethereum's larger fee was to not have this issue where people just put a load of like quote unquote garbage on there. You know, that's like if you look at Morad's post where he showed that there's like in hardly any time there was like 3 million tokens printed on Solana now and everything, and you have got serious altcoin dilution. Like, what do you buy? Where the communities, where people actually buying and hodling, not just trading in for 5 seconds out and chasing pumps. And Pulsechain is just, it is doing things. So they've sped up Ethereum, like they've taken a copy of Ethereum and sped it up a little bit. Okay, that isn't groundbreaking, but then he's sort of taken he's created a little community there. So you've got with all your LPs and everything, you've got Ink, your meme coin incentive token that you get for LPing. It could have a future use case in there. We don't know. It's like the meme coin that the maxis will accept as a meme coin because they swear by the Richard Harcourt coins and they don't tend to veer out much more than that. So Pulsechain then has got the buy and burn.
It's always hard, isn't it, when someone asks you why you like your project? If I gave you like 30 minutes to like write it down, but like when someone just asks you on a web stream,
it's a bit hard on the spot. But there's also, if you then go on X and you post something and you tag $Hex or $Pulse or you get into the sub communities and look at what everyone's doing, they're creating NFTs and LPing and every time they LP, they're burning the LP and they're creating use cases for all these different coins. They're community bootstrapping this coin, this chain out of nowhere, and it's like a community takeover kind of, because I mean technically Richard says it's not him doing these things, so it's like a community takeover.
Interesting.
And,
they have a copy of Dogelon Mars on Pulsechain.
It's like the Tangang, which are like obviously a group of friends, and they started doing meme coins and shit on there, and they've created their own community and NFTs, and then they've given them utility. They're teaching people how to LP and stuff like that to actually just teach the community how to grow this project, as opposed to just buy that and then tomorrow it's buy that new coin, buy that new coin. And a lot of the coins there, they're not necessarily rugs. I mean, yes, they do have the big massive pullback initially, but they come back and there's just communities forming, and they're just so loud. You see, like you've got Somi. How can you not be bullish on more people, more eyes going on Somi and listening to what he's saying, because he's so convincing as well. And then you
need a KOL, and you need a community that supports each other and that like enjoys minting fresh things and like coming up with.
They share like knowledge. They're teaching the community. They're like friendly. They're not out to scam you. They seem like sort of kind of like us, you know. They're like people that are like crypto fanatics, and they're here to
a bit more on the nicer, like well put together side. Yeah.
And then also they're all obviously a little bit autistic in the sense that you got your autistic coins. Like we've got our ticker Pulsechain, which is what was it? Peter Parker, Kirby, Pepe, whatever. it's like the kind of like ticker Bitcoin.
Some memes.
Oh, it's insane. And then also, I mean, it's not like things are happening under the radar. So I mean, like Dick with Butt is probably the coolest meme on Pulsechain, and you've got your resident Dick Butt in a costume, which is Dirky Turkey. And again, you can't be fucking bearish on Turkey. That guy is he's putting in the effort, and he's
So it's a strong community that we can tap into if we start engaging with them. We can join that community essentially.
I mean, they seem to have accepted me all right, and I don't particularly do much. I'm just going in there, you repost, you sort of speak to them and everything. And I mean, you've got all sorts of people in there. There's a few toxic maxis that only believe in like hex only, like Richard was pushing initially. But as Richard tweets about like more of the ecosystem and all of the coins, and even his most recent X post where he said, here's a screenshot you've never seen on here before, and it's like all the pCopy tokens like pumping like 30% across the board sort of thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's as subtle as he can be in the regime that he's sort of had to deal with. And as I was talking to Theo like before the stream, one of his recent posts where he makes reference to the bill that Trump's just signed into office, whatever it is. He almost says like, I feel like this provision was written almost directed at me and like my people sort of thing. Like, and then he actually sort of said like to all the regulators or the persecutionists or whatever he calls them, like to back off and everything. And it's a fresh air to have a leader that's
with the overly. So if you don't know, Trump not only did the digital assets, and not only do we have like a Cynthia Lumin as the head of a new board, but a third thing Trump did for crypto was that he executive ordered a new legislation that the SEC has to stop being so targeting towards crypto.
Yeah, they can't be like persecuting them and everything. And I think that's super bullish. And then obviously it's a token that's had the SEC court case and everything. It's had a load of FUD. Like the market's pricing it as dead. And the reason I like it, back to what the initial point was over Solana, is because it is like that play. There is a part of the cycle where everything pumps. Like everyone's looking for the token that hasn't pumped, and everyone's super greedy.
It happens.
And most coins will, I mean, as much as it sort of sounds a bit wacky to say, it will happen. Most coins will suddenly start pumping out of nowhere.
One would agree with you, yeah.
And I mean, another reason is, I mean, the scams pump the hardest. Whether you think it's a scam or not, I don't know, but it's definitely what like the narrative is, that it's the biggest scam in crypto. So it's usually the one that will pump the hardest to prove everyone wrong. And I just
to ruin everyone's day, just to make everyone do like the cope and seethe face, like. And
then if you actually watch Richard Hart's videos, then he sort of seems like the kind of guy that would take very, very much pleasure out of coming online. Like maybe like Somi like sort of speculates, maybe he gets in front of a camera one time at the end of the bull run just to say, well, I told you so, and then that could be the end of it all. But I don't know. It's one that I think there's a lot happening. It seems just like it's piqued my interest, and he
looks a bit like a Batman villain, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
No,
I must say I never liked Richard from word go. I didn't like his demeanor. It was like the whole like flashy, look at this Gucci bags here, there, wherever. That was never really attracted me at all. I only started to sort of not take a shine to him either, but actually start listening and realize, oh shit, this dude actually knows his shit, is when you actually go back and you watch his streams. Like most people will have an opinion of the guy, but they've never even watched his streams. And if you do, he's a clever cookie, you know, to put it like. And he can fit a toilet seat, like you'll see in the video there.
No, it's a bidet, not a toilet seat.
It's a toilet seat. I'm a plumber. It's a toilet seat with a hose on it.
That's great.
Okay, so on that note, I'm gonna be looking at some tokens in the Discord. We're gonna move this party over. It was a pleasure to be spending time with everybody who watched and you guys, and hopefully I get to hang out with you guys in the Discord in about 5 minutes.
Thanks so much for joining, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Wizard.
Thanks for having me. Great to see you guys again.
Yep. Take care.